every once in a while you record a video that sounds good in your head and you play it over and over again, think it out loud, say it out loud, whether you're practicing it in the car or in the shower or just whether you're walking around, everything just comes out perfectly, and then you sit down and try and formulate the words and it just doesn't come out the way that you want it to. And that's kind of what this video is right now. It's a little bit tougher. So bear with me while I struggle through it, and hopefully it won't be too bad. What is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. It has been about a week since anything has come out, whether it be on social media. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I really haven't put anything out, and I haven't put anything out on YouTube now for a week. I really just needed a week to kind of take a break, gather my thoughts, and kind of take a step back and think about everything that I wanted to do from here and where I wanted to go from here and how I could hopefully kind of change things because of some unhappy issues, I guess, that occurred that I want to rectify or move forward from. And that all started last week Sunday during our Base 2 live stream, which I really do love those live streams. I get a lot out of them. They're a lot of fun. Just having the opportunity to interact with people who share this common bond and this common passion that I share is really, really important to me. And I've talked to you guys before about how wonderful of an escape this is and how much fun it is. And unfortunately, there was just one incident from one or two people last week that just made this not fun. And it got into my head. And unfortunately, it got in my head so bad that I actually thought about just kind of hanging up and just throwing in the towel when it comes to creating content and just moving forward with only focusing on the Coliseum and building that brand and building that business and focusing on that. But then I started sitting back a little bit more and started thinking a little bit more in depth about how I need to start working more on being the change that I want to see. And a lot of that comes from whether interactions that we all have amongst each other. Right? So, I mean, obviously there's discussion points and things that I say that I want to hear from you guys about, whether it be in the comment section below or whether it be in live streams or whether it be on a social media platform where I'm looking for input and thoughts. I have to do a better job of kind of going back and forth and interacting with you guys and really making sure that everybody feels valued and feels like their questions or their opinions are getting across, and that I am doing a good job of answering questions and opinions in a positive light. Because to me, positivity breeds more positivity, and that's what's important. I'm very, very mindset oriented. Same thing with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts really breed negativity, and if you're somebody who just hangs around negativity all the time, then negative things happen, and that's really what I want to avoid with this channel. I put a lot of information out there and a lot of thoughts that go into these information bits that I give, a lot of strategies and advice and really my thought process when it comes to digesting things, whether it be from a historical perspective or a statistical perspective. And there's certain things that I'm correct on and certain things that maybe I'm not as correct on. And then there's things where you may disagree with me, and I think disagreements are great. They're all part of a game, all part of the game, all part of the strategies in life. There's things that I'm going to say that you may not necessarily agree with. There was a video that I came out with a couple weeks ago now where it talked about supporting your local game store and maybe being willing to pay that extra $10 or $15 for a Shining Fates ETB because of these reasons. And that was something that I was like, this is why I would continue to support my local game store, because I know my local game store and I know that they're kind and I know that I get along well with them and I do support them. And there were people down in the comments section below who disagreed with me and said some great things about why they disagree with me, and that was perfect. However, every once in a while you get somebody who comes in and just says something that really starts bordering on the edge of bullying, for instance, for lack of a better word, I guess. And that's just stuff that I don't necessarily tolerate, I don't enjoy, I don't like to see. So that's something that I need to do a better job of making sure it doesn't happen. And really, like I said before, it's something that I focus on as far as this escape goes. It's something that I focus on as far as fun goes. And last week Sunday, as fun as it was to open up these Base 2 boxes and interact with the community and have this wonderful environment where we're all sharing this experience of this passion that we are all, equally connected over, there was unfortunately one or two people that decided to just kind of get in my head and ruin that. And I need to do a better job of making sure that I block that out and not dwell on it. And it's all a learning experience. This is all a learning experience for me as it is for you guys as well, I'm sure. So with that, we digress, we move on, and hopefully we can continue to climb and really create some good content together, some good community feel together, because that's what matters to me. I've worked really hard on my own personal reputation as well as the branding for the Coliseum, because that's ultimately, I respect all of you very, very much, and I want to be somebody that you can rely on, somebody that you can count on, somebody that you can trust, and I want to be able to provide good information that you can kind of digest and make smart, sound decisions off of. whether it be historical or analytical, whatever the case may be. But I've been involved in this community for a long time, and I've been involved from both a business aspect and from a competitive aspect. I've gone around and worked with high-level tournament organizers. I've gone around and worked with the Pokemon Company International and met up with them at international events, and it's been a lot of fun. I've worked really, really hard at making sure that everything that I do is for the best intent of, everybody involved. Because I do believe in that kind of outlook on life, is making sure that everybody remains happy and everybody has this positive aspect of everything. So that's really what I want to continue to foster with this channel, and continue to grow in those things. But with that, I don't want to keep things too long-winded when it comes to the outlook of the channel, and I want to focus more on the Pokemon Company right now and where we're going, because I do think there was a lot of news that came out last week and some things that I'm not, unfortunately, going to be able to record upon, like the new artworks that came out for Battle Styles, the new Secret Rares that came out for Battle Styles, which look phenomenal. There was a lot of great stuff that did come out over the past week, but the thing that I want to highlight the most is the current state of Pokemon. I did watch a video last week from SM Pratt. I can leave a link in the description down below where he kind of went over comparisons between the Pokemon Company right now, between Nintendo and the sports bubble that we went through in the mid-90s, where there was just this massive printing of sports cards and how comparable the two are. And one of the things that he highlighted as far as why they aren't comparable at all is because, Nintendo is the only one that manufactures these Pokemon cards, whereas for baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, whatever the case may be, in the mid-90s, there were all different companies. There were a ton of different companies, and then there were a ton of different variables with each company that were branching out and making rookie cards or making baseball cards. And, one thing like a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card or a Mark McGwire rookie card was made by Donruss, but also like Donruss X and Score and Fleer, and then they had all these fractors and all these extra companies or umbrella parts of these companies that were printing these sports cards basically into the ground. And one thing that we don't have to worry about is the fact that Nintendo is going to be the only one that is going to print these Pokemon cards, which is great for the long run when it comes to continuing to see an increase and continuing to see a return. And that video really got me thinking about where things were in the late 90s, early 2000s, when we had that base set, when we had Fossil, when we had Jungle, and how difficult it was to find cards in stores, because that's kind of where we are right now. And it's been this way for a few months, but it's been really, really bad for about the last month now, where you've been able to go into a Target or a Walmart or a Meijer and there's just nothing but empty shelves. I went into Meijer on Thursday night of this past week to get some stuff. I was making, what was I making? We were making Italian beef sandwiches for dinner. And I was going in just to kind of pick up some groceries, and I always walk past the card aisle just to kind of see if there's anything out there. And there was nothing, but there was a line of about 15 people that were just lined up waiting for the rep to come and stock. And I don't know who stocks on Thursday nights at this specific Meijer, if it's sports cards that they're stocking or if it's Pokemon cards that they're stocking. But the fact of the matter is that there were 15 people. That's kind of what the market has come to right now, where you have to get there and you have to wait in line for a rep to come and stock shelves. And I guarantee you that is not what Pokemon wants. Another good point that SM Pratt made is that Nintendo has always printed to meet demand, and that's something that they've done and will continue to do. So we've seen this before when Evolutions first came out, and there was this giant demand and resurgence in the Pokemon game. And you started seeing these huge print runs of Sun and Moon, Guardians Rising, Burning Shadows, Crimson Invasion, because there was a huge influx of both players and collectors, that they were printing these things into the ground. And unfortunately, we can't do that right now because of everything that's been going on as far as the pandemic goes. Manufacturing has come to a kind of slowdown. But I think Pokemon is actually taking steps in the right direction with a recent release of how things are going over the next month and a half. And we're going to kind of break that down here in a second. And I think it's really important to look at. So we did have December come and go, and we had a Unified Minds reprint, which was extremely small. We had a Champions Path reprint, which was extremely small, but you were able to find some Champions Path product, at least in stores every once in a while. And then at the end of December, beginning of January, we had this Hidden Fates reprint that was specific to Elite Trainer boxes, as well as it looked like some tins that were made and then distributed into retail stores. But those came and went pretty quickly too. So it seems to get to the point right now where everything, as soon as it gets into the store, it gets bought out to people who are basically just waiting for these reps to line up. So it seems like Pokemon was like, okay, hold on a second. We're supposed to have this big reprint of Darkness Ablaze. We're supposed to have this big reprint of Vivid Voltage. Why don't we delay these a little bit? And that's where we're going right now. We're delaying these a little bit to kind of close the gap on every single release that's coming out and then throw as much product as we can at once into the wild, so that way we can hopefully break up the strain of just no product entering the stores. And I do want to get comments and feedback to see what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I did get contacted from distributor last week, and distribution said, hey, it looks like Darkness Ablaze is getting pushed back to the end of January when it will be shipped and released to distributors. That pushes back shipping to local storefronts, LGSs, retail stores, and online marketplaces like myself and Papa to the beginning of February. And it looks like Vivid Voltage is getting pushed back to the middle of February. So at the beginning of February now, you're going to have a Darkness Ablaze reprint that's a decent size, a Vivid Voltage reprint in the middle of February that's a very good size, and then what happens right after that? Well, you have a Shining Fates release. So Shining Fates Elite Trainer boxes, you have Shining Fates tins, and it seems like we talked before about Shining Fates being split up into 4 different waves. It seems like the majority of the allocation is coming with that first wave. About half the product is being allocated into that first wave. So if you're somebody who's getting 1,000 Elite Trainer boxes, you're probably going to be getting about 500 of them in that first wave. And then waves 2, 3, and 4 are going to be closer to that 16, 17% mark. So a decent chunk is getting distributed and released in the middle of February. And then all of a sudden you hit the beginning of March. You have more Shining Fates products that come out. And then you have the middle of March, and you have Battle Styles coming out. Recently, there has been confirmation among some of my friends who own their own card shops that they are going to be getting Cosmic Eclipse in April. So then you have a Cosmic Eclipse reprint that has been confirmed by many of my friends for April. I have not heard this from the distributors that I work with yet. I do expect to hear about it this week, and the sources that I've talked to are both very, very they're very trustworthy. They're good people. So I understand when they tell me something, I take it as factual information. So it sounds like we're going to be having a decent size, or not a decent size, but we're going to be having a reprint of Cosmic Eclipse that's going to be coming in April. I have also seen a couple of companies put up pre-orders for team-up reprints. Now, whether that is true or not, because this is kind of the first time hearing about team-up, I don't know. But it seems like they're kind of smashing a lot of product in all at once over the span of 2 months. So that way there's going to be these floodgates that kind of open up as far as product that is going to be available in the stores. So I'm very, very hopeful that the amount of product that's going to be thrown out there is going to be enough to satisfy demand, and then they're going to be able to start catching up on reprinting hopefully some other sets like Rebel Clash, like Sword and Shield, more of Darkness Ablaze, more of Vivid Voltage, just to be able to meet this demand. So that way when they move into the 25th anniversary set, there's already a decent amount of product, because we cannot continue to live this way moving forward through the rest of the year. There's just too much demand out there to meet the supply that's out there. So I'm hoping Pokemon is throwing everything out there at once, just to kind of meet the demand that's out there, and hopefully that demand will be satisfied with everything that's coming out. And I'm anxious to hear what you guys think down in the comment section below, because I do think it's a very interesting topic with the delays of Darkness Ablaze and the delays of Vivid Voltage, that hopefully this means that there's actually going to be some product on the shelves that everybody can take advantage of and everybody can enjoy, whether it's somebody who's looking for that, that one single to complete a master set, or whether it's somebody who's just looking to open up some packs. Right now, distribution channels, unfortunately, are just empty. I talked to my distributor, one of my distributors last week, to try and order some product, and he said, I don't even have theme decks in stock right now. And they were expecting some product at the end of the week, but just nothing's coming in. And hopefully that means it's just all being piled in at once, and that there's going to be a lot of product that comes out and gets released sometime over the next couple months. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I really appreciate you guys very, very much, more than you will ever know, and some of the relationships that I've made already, just kind of contacting and connecting with you guys over this passion, this thing that kind of unites us together, is very, very important to me. So I'm going to do a better job of making sure that I'm active in the comment section below and active on Instagram. If you don't follow me, you can follow me at danny.phantom on Instagram, just to kind of interact more with you guys, and hopefully move forward as this group, as this family. And that's really what's important to me. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I know we're up to about 14-ish minutes right now, so I'm going to stop talking, but thank you so much. If you guys like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up. That goes a long way with the algorithm, and as well as leaving a comment, even if it's just to say hi. So until next time, guys, peace.